Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit with Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do the collective for today, Thursday, November 21st, 2024. You may follow me on the book, the Insta, the Talk, or the Tube, or not. Totally up to you. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, we are happy for you. That is amazing. Fabulous. If some of it does not, please just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. We're going to use the Twisted Oracle, Twin Flames Exposed. You know how I feel about the Twin Flames. It doesn't matter. You can use these cards for any reading. And you can find this on Etsy. I think it's still on there. And Twin Flames Exposed, I think, is technically the name of the shop on there. I think. Because I have another deck from them, like in my cart. And it says Twin Flames Exposed. So I think it's like the company, the person, however you want to phrase that. I think it's a woman, if I'm not mistaken. We got one on the table. I thought I heard my buzzer kind of going, but I'm not expecting anything, so we got two on the table. Oh, okay. Now we got four on the table. Oh, shit. Okay. Again, tell me that these cards don't fall out the way that they do without purpose. Because seriously. So we got four on the table. Five on the table. Yeah, I'm not expecting a package or anything, so I don't know what the heck. We got six on the table. We got seven on the table. We're going to do two more shuffles after this. And there's one card in here that's like upside down. I don't even know how that happens. I mean, not that it matters. I don't usually read Oracle upside down. We got eight on the table. Okay, let's do one more. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. Okay, one more. One more. Oh, I officially only have 3 nails left. Yep, that's right. Not bad, huh? I think I'm going to make an appointment for like kind of beginning, middle of December so I can have nails for Christmas. I know, I kind of bitched about it. My whole life I've been like, oh, who needs nails? Apparently I do. Apparently I need nails. Okay, so with the bottom of the deck, we got 11 cards. I'm going to set this over here because I already got enough going on this windowsill. All right. We've got trap, living in the moment. I kid you not, like this bad news. Like, how do the cards fall out like this? Jezebel, fairy tale, childhood wounds, memories. We got love child, massive regrets. We've got free and true colors, bottom of the deck. All right, so normally I say feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. It doesn't matter, and it really doesn't. You can move things around if you want. A Jezebel can just as easily be, what, a Moor? That's what I call a man whore, a Moor. He's a Moor. This is giving off feminine energy to me. Because there's a little bit of something else going on here. Again, take how it resonates. So, hetero norms, guys, they're out there. What can I tell you? Someone was trapped. Someone was trapped into having a love child with a Jezebel. Again, the Jezebel's coming off as a feminine figure. In order to create a child through sex, that would have to be with a man. So, the two of them were living in the moment. I just heard long-term affair. This Jezebel might have told this masculine that, she was on birth control, something like that. We don't need condoms. I'm on birth control. Birth control fails. I mean, everybody knows that. Condoms fail, And it's funny because when you look at the trap card, it's a condom, somebody sticking a hole into it. But I'm really getting that there was no condom whatsoever. This was somebody that, again, said that they were on some form of birth control and they just were not. Or if they, or if they were, like, they weren't taking it like when they were supposed to be taking it and they messed up and accidental baby. So again, some type of long-term affair. This person got the bad news that they have a child with this Jezebel. Now, because some of this is in regard to the Jezebel and some of this is in regard to like a masculine energy. So this Jezebel, I mean, we label, ladies of the night as such, thinking that like ill intention is around there. And that's not to say that trapping someone into a child isn't bullshit, because it is. Like in the year 2024, for sure, there should be no one out there trapping anyone into anything. It's the year 2024. Know how to put on a condom, know how to take a pill in the morning, and you're all set. Like, seriously. Men saying that, like, oh, well, my girlfriend tricked me into it, or, like what? Like, you don't have a brain anywhere other than between your legs? Is that what you're telling me? Because if you're two unmarried people and you have a child together by accident, there are ways to prevent that. To pretend like it was an accident and you had no idea it could happen is just mind-boggling to me. The amount of 20-something-year-olds, 18-something-year-olds out there with children, like, do you not teach your kids what birth control is? Like, I just don't understand. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have children. If you want to have a child, have a child. But it just astounds me at the amount of young kids that I see out there just like, oh, okay, well, I didn't use anything and it happened. So, and then like a year and a half later, it happens again. Like, oh, it's shocking. Not really. When you pretend to be ignorant, because let's just face it, even if this masculine got trapped, right? This Jezebel told them, like, oh, I'm on birth control. Like, we don't have to worry about it. If I was that masculine, I'd be like, no, it's okay. I'm going to pull out the condom. People always give the argument like, oh, it doesn't feel as good. Yeah, of course it doesn't feel as good. But again, do you want these in every state that you travel to with every woman that you like? Do you? Do you really? Because if I was a man, I'd rather put the condom on. Like, I'm just saying. Like, I don't need 13, 20 children out there that I don't know about. Like, that's just ridiculous to me. The amount of disrespect towards oneself, not to mention others, is just astounding. This Jezebel got into this relationship thinking that at the end of the day, it was going to end up being some type of fairy tale. Now, the phony trickster illusions, obviously, this was an illusion. Like, this was probably not going to happen. And I'm not getting, there's no marriage card out here, anything like that. So I'm going to say that these two people were single. I'm just going to say that they were. If they weren't, I mean, I have no idea. But this Jezebel had some type of illusion that this was going to end up like a fairy tale romance kind of thing. I think whoever the masculine is, they're the phony. And whoever this Jezebel is, they're the trickster. Because they're the ones that tried to trap this masculine into some type of long-term commitment with a child. And this masculine is a phony because, I mean, come on. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that he like lured this Jezebel in with this fairy tale. She might have made that all up in her own head. But again, to get into some type of sexual relationship with someone and depend on the other person for birth control when you can take care of that yourself. You can take care of that yourself. And not only that, but a condom is going to protect against STDs, STIs, whereas birth control does not. So, like, to me, the masculine is a phony. Like, they put off a phony persona. I think both of these people came together under some type of trauma bond with this childhood wounds. It says bullying, sexual abuse, physical abuse, toxic parents, abandonment. The two people that become codependent on each other. And I'm not going to say that they're abusive towards each other, but they probably experienced that from their parents at some point. That's just me throwing that out there. It's a possibility. This Jezebel, I mean, a Jezebel is given that name because this is someone that is free with their sexual favors. So, like this Jezebel being with this masculine, who's to say she wasn't with others? Typically, when we're sexually abused, male or female, honestly, we tend to be hypersexual. I can raise my hand and I can say that. I mean, I was sexually assaulted at the age of 4 by a cousin and 3 of his friends. And when I tell you, probably by the age of 6, I was masturbating. I was interested in the female body and the male body and all that stuff. Now I got to a certain age where I just didn't want to have anything to do with the male species. And in the way I was raised, the way I thought, like it would never even enter my mind to be a lesbian, to be with a woman. When I was younger, I always like, oh, I'm going to get married and have 2 kids and have the house with the picket fence and the cat and the dog. And my husband's going to work full time and I'm going to work part time and I'm going to take care of the kids. And yeah, it was, the American dream or whatever you want to call it. But as I got older, I just didn't want to have anything to do with relationship type stuff. Like, I didn't want to have to deal with that. I didn't want to have to deal with a man. And again, it was still in my head that I wasn't bisexual. I wasn't attracted to women. Like, that was just friendship, right? Even though I was really attracted to certain women, certain friends who, when I think back on those relationships, like I wasn't really, like they weren't a friend. I mean, they were a friend to me, but technically, subconsciously, like I was thinking maybe more. Because some of these women, past female friends, I was in love with. Like, I crushed on them just like I crushed on a man. I didn't lose my actual virginity until I was 30. I was a very late bloomer, and once I did that, I didn't go on a rampage or anything like that, but I ended up having a friends with benefits. I ended up dating my first boyfriend. He's the one that, with his friend / drug dealer, they raped me. That was my my first rape, technically second sexual assault, however you define that. When I left my ex-husband and we got divorced last year, I went a little crazy. It's that hypersexual urge. It's that urge in me. It's just that urge in me. And I told you guys, I broke up with that guy at the beginning of July last year, and I've been celibate since. Now I'm finally thinking, okay, maybe I'm ready to actually get back on the horse. But I'm just saying, this Jezebel, she didn't just get this way because she's like woke up one day and said, oh, I'm going to be a tramp. No, I mean, this is from wounds, emotions, feelings, actions, things that weren't dealt with in the past that should have been. Anything that is repressed, she's acting this out with men and or women, whatever. And that's part of what the memories card is. These 2 people, they might actually have shared their stories with each other. Their childhood trauma, any trauma they experienced during adulthood. With the memories card, they might have shared that to each other. I'm willing to bet that they shared that with each other, because like I said, this was some type of like long-term affair, like long-term relationship, like on and off, you know what I mean? Like even if they only got together for sex like once a month, they probably did it for like 5 years, 10 years. That's a long-term relationship. And I feel like the masculine is in massive regret over this situation, over the actual child. Um, because I think they know. Like I think once this Jezebel, broke the bad news to this masculine, like, oh, by the way, like I'm pregnant, we're gonna have a baby. I think this person realized, like, wait a minute, like I kind of put my faith and my trust in you that you were gonna do the right thing, and again, people just should not do that, in my opinion. You need to protect yourself. Put the condom on. Like, seriously. And again, not just pregnancy, people. STDs, STIs. Like they run rampant out there. Nobody out there wants to use a condom. It blows my mind. That honestly is probably the only thing that deters me from getting in a relationship with someone is I, I don't want to wake up one day and have someone tell me, like, oh, I've been cheating on you, and by the way, I got syphilis. Like, I don't. That is not the dream. That is not the American dream. I don't want that. That is not my dream. I don't. With the free card, moving on, letting go, loving you. So this masculine. And again, this could have happened in the past. This could be happening right now. So this baby could be an adult. This baby could be not even born yet. But either way, this masculine is not going to stay. Like, this is not going to hold them to this Jezebel. If anything, it made them realize, like, I can't be with you. Like, I thought I could trust you. I realized I can't trust you. Like, I will support this child. I will be there for the child, but I'm moving on. I'm letting you go. I need to love me. Like, I love you because you had my kid, and I'll love my kid, but I need to love me. I need to go. I watched her read, was it yesterday or the day before? One of my favorite tarot readers, and um something about a masculine staying with a feminine, even though, like, they weren't in love with them, they weren't even attracted to them anymore, but they're going to stay there because they had kids. I will say this all day and every day: children are not an excuse to stay in unhappy relationships. My parents have been married for 30 plus years, 30, 32 years. I don't even know. They've been married a long time. Longer than longer than I've been born. You know what I mean? Like, no, they haven't been married 30 years. They were married 2 years before I was born. I am 44. They have been married 46 years. Ding, 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 ding. Kim needs to learn how to do the math because the math ain't mathin'. Um, I love my parents. I do. But they are the prime example of a couple that should have never stayed together. And even as a kid, going into like my teenage years, I knew that. It was even brought up by me and my sibling at one point to one of my parents, I'm not going to say which, and it was dropped. The conversation was dropped, and that's fine. But at the same time, like, when your kids recognize that you are in an unhappy situation, that's a problem, because that means that you should have gotten out a long time ago. And I will say all day, every day, you do not stay for the kids. You do not stay in a loveless relationship to protect your children. You're not protecting your children. You're not. You're absolutely not. Wouldn't you rather break up, go your separate ways, find the person you're supposed to be with, and show that kid what real love is? How amazing a relationship can be? Why would you let them watch two people suffer for, 10, 20, 30 years? People say, well, I'm a lifer. I got married. I'm staying in it. There's no turning back now. That's not a ringing endorsement for relationships or marriages or unions or whatever you want to call it. That is not an endorsement. That is actually very sad. Very sad indeed. And I've talked about this before on here. I don't want to keep rambling on about it, but I highly, highly recommend that when you are unhappy, that you do something about it. And even if you want to go the other way, if you're in a relationship and you're unhappy and they're unhappy and you want to go to counseling, go to counseling. If that helps you and that turns it around and then you're happy, fabulous. That would be fucking amazing. People don't even do that half the time. They're just like, well, we're just going to make it work because, yeah, this masculine saw the true colors of this Jezebel, the true colors of the relationship they were in, and they decided to let go, move on and let go. And I think also too, when I look at this masculine finally sat down, had a conversation with this Jezebel and said, look, I'm sorry. Like, if you thought it was going to be like a fairy tale and we were going to get married and have a mansion, like, I'm sorry. Like, I never felt like that was going to happen. I just thought we were having a good time. When it was over, it was going to be over. When it runs its course, it's going to run its course. I never expected this to happen. And again, I will support you, the baby, but I'm not staying. And that's fair. I mean, to me, that's fair. Like, and again, this is the year 2024. To think you're going to trap another human being with a baby is kind of ridiculous. This isn't 1960 or 1970, 1950, 1930, whatever. This is the year 2024. And the sad truth is when I talk about all these young kids that I know that have kids, most of them are not with their baby mamas. They're not. Most of these guys, most of these women, they're not with their baby's other parent. And I'm not saying that there's a million women out there having not fake pregnancies, not using birth control on purpose to have babies. Because some of them, I'm sure, are accidents. Like I said, you could forget to take your pill, whatever. But there's no forgetting to put on a condom. Every day, all day, you know that you should put on a condom. A man knows he should put on a condom. If you're going to be out there hitting up every female you can find, you should be putting on a condom. Because again, you're only protecting yourself. You're only protecting your best interest. So I think this Jezebel, they saw the true colors of each other, if that makes sense. Like this masculine realized maybe, okay, maybe I did lead this Jezebel on in some type of way. And this Jezebel realized, like, he was a phony. He was never going to make a commitment. He was never going to ask me to marry him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did all this for nothing. I did this. I had this. For what? Now I have to start over. It's kind of funny too because the fairy tale card and the memories card, like she looks like a princess and she looks like she's wearing a wedding dress. This Jezebel really thought that this was going to be it. Like, I'm going to get married. I'm going to have my happily ever after finally. I mean, that's kind of sad, you know? I mean, I could feel sorry for someone, you know, in that situation. Thinking that you've spent all this time with this person and you're going to get a commitment and it just never comes. And for some, this Jezebel trapping this masculine with a child, it might have almost been kind of like I'm going to take my birth control, but if I miss it, it's not going to be a big deal, right? Because this masculine's going to marry me at some point. Kind of like that. Like, I'm going to do it, but if something happens, it happens. I mean, it's still technically trapping someone because eventually you're going to become careless and you're going to forget and you're going to fuck up, right? But it still gives off an energy of like this person just, they thought that this was the real deal. This Jezebel thought that this was going to be the real deal. I think I'm going to leave it at that. I hope it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. I hope everybody has a lovely evening. It snowed here all day and then it rained, so now there's hardly any snow. That's what we like to hear in Illinois. The snow just melted away. Again, I hope everybody has a good night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.